Here come your Rockets!
This program is supported by advertising. Rocket Football appreciates these local partners: Mark Williams Land Team at Whitetail Properties, Riley Tool and Machine, Par 4 Plastics, Curnel Ag, Full Body Fitness Studio, Yarborough Tabor Goodwin Insurance, Farmers Bank and Trust, Hodges Sports and Apparel, Deer Lakes Golf Course, Livingston Hospital, Seaplant Federal Credit Union, Frazer Law Firm, Cobie Evans and Bart Frazer, Darrick Myers, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, First United Bank, Gilbert Funeral Home, and Beavers Heating and Air. Go Rockets!
All right, Rocket football fans, welcome to week 4 of the 2025 season. We have a guest coming in this week that we have never seen before, Union City, Tennessee. Now, we've seen them on WPSD, I guess, from time to time. They make a lot of highlights. They put out a number of highlight reels every year. They're off to a 1-2 start, just as we are. So a little down here, they've changed classifications, kind of like we have the last few years, and we'll talk at length in just a bit about Union City. But first of all, of course, welcome Coach Courtney, the Hall of Famer, and then we got Grant Carter, new coach. We'll bring him in, introduce him. You've seen him around campus, seen him around the ball field, and Coach Carter's married to former Madison champion. Who is the athletic director at Crittenden County High School. And Madison, of course, a great basketball player in her day. And now you're expecting the first child.
We are. Yes, yeah. Very excied.
Yeah,
a lot of things changing.
You guys really didn't plan that very well in her second year as athletic director. She's going to give birth in the spring, and we have the All-A softball tournament and the regional softball tournament.
There'll be a lot on our plate, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's likely to be a lot on somebody's plate.
Yeah.
But welcome to the show, Grant. And I tell you what, we're going to do, like we've done the past few weeks, we're going to start off and talk about the players of the game from last week. Of course, we got on the right side of the scoreboard and beat Webster County 27-8, I believe. 27-8?
Yes.
Yeah, 27-8. And players of the game, Coach.
Offense was Eli Lavelle. There wasn't a whole lot of opportunities necessarily for Eli in the game, but when he did get the opportunity, he made the best of it. And some of the stuff's not show up on the stat sheet, but he does well. He just become a very consistent offensive and defensive weapon for us. Made several plays on defense. Had a big interception. He just playing extremely solid. One of those guys that we expect to be the guy. For a long time here, only a sophomore, so playing really well with the opportunities given on offense. Defense was tough for me. I don't even know, what's the 3? I don't know. We had 3 guys.
Defense was Pointy, Bumpus, and Stevenson.
Yeah, Pointy, Bumpus, and Stevenson. I thought they all played so well. I just couldn't, separate them. Pointy had another big night with a lot of tackles, had an interception, doing what he does. He's playing extremely well, especially quarterback the defense spot for us, and just really important to us. But I thought Joe came in and gave us a whole lot when he got in. He didn't play as many reps with splitting time, and I think he had 9 tackles and a few for loss, maybe 2. Just really played well downhill and physical for us.
Good looking freshman football player.
Yep. And ran the ball pretty well, and he had his opportunity as well too. So we expect big things out of him. Feel like he's really starting to turn the corner and figure things out. And then Jay Stevenson, I thought that he probably made the biggest impact when we needed it. As far as we were kind of struggling there in the second quarter. We come out of halftime, and he just starts making big play after big play, and I thought it just kind of put him away. It's kind of demoralizing. I think he had 4 tackles for loss, and they were big tackles for loss, not like 1 or 2 yards, but 5, 6, 7 yard losses, and 4 of them in a half. Just kind of made it really hard for Webster County and the style of offense they play, getting behind the sticks like that. And so I thought they all deserved it. It was just really hard for me to decide which one to crown all 3 of those guys. The lineman of the week is Brandon Sassy. He had a lot of tackles on defense, tackles for loss as well. Then offensively, just like we feel like he does most weeks, dominate his matchup up front. You got to give Sassy lineman of the week pretty much anytime you look. He's always pretty dominant up there. Yeah. And then special teams was Trey Taylor before the kickoff, and it was a team, return. The front line especially did a really good job. Some of those guys, Bumpus, it was Hunter Curnel, Aiden Musser, I don't remember, there was one more, but guys really blocking hard. They missed the miscommunication on who should return it, and then he picks it up. So those guys were blocking for a long time, and it just opened like a sea because they stayed on it. So, but that big of a return and kind of opened the game up for us. I thought he deserved it, and that team, it goes to that team as well.
Yeah. 97 yards, second longest ever, and I think he had just coughed the ball up, but like the series before, and you could see it in his eyes. He's gonna make something happen and get it back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Somebody thought about. Yeah, they just got on the score because we had just fumbled on the 4 or 5 yard line.
Yeah. He a senior will do that for you.
Yeah. That's a good sign. Being able to play the next play and go out there and make something happen after something bad happens, not put your head down. So. Yeah, Trey, says a lot about his mentality and the kid that he is.
And now, Grant, did you go to Webster County?
I did.
That's what I was thinking. You played at Webster County. Did you play when Coach Courtney was over?
Yes, Coach Courtney. I think I was a junior when you came in, and then he was always my position coach defensively at linebacker. But then my senior year as well. I think he was DC both years.
Yeah.
So what's it like being across from your old team?
It was a lot of mixed emotions. But. At the end of the day, I'm a Rocket. I'm glad to see us win. We needed that one, even though it wasn't pretty. So,
yeah. What did you see in that game?
But yeah, just kind of coming off what Coach Courtney said, I was really proud of Jay. I bragged on him, and I even went up to him several times in the game, and told him I was proud of him. I thought he was really changing the momentum for us there coming out of the half because we needed something. And coming off of what Trey gave us right there before half, that was a big momentum change too. And then seeing what Joel did down there as a freshman was really impressive to me, really. And sometimes finding himself in the wrong spot, but kind of getting back and fighting and still getting to the ball pretty good. And I thought was really, really good for him.
I think we're seeing the beginning of a really good football player.
Yeah.
I really
There's
do.
no doubt about what Joel's going to be. Sure. It's just kind of when it's going to happen. But I think we're already seeing big spark, big leap from, a very good game for him to kind of leap the right direction there.
And then you talk about Poindexter, we call him, and Brand Sassy. I mean, the two of them together have a third of your team tackles.
A third?
A third. So you got two guys that have
I'm surprised it's not more. I thought it was maybe had 2/3. So this seems like they make every play. It really does.
Yeah.
But
I think they get around 60 of the 207.
Okay.
67 of 207.
It's huge for guys. Like we need a few guys on defense to start making more plays. So we got to have more production out of some guys. And having Joe come off and have that production, having Jay come off and have that production, it's huge to take some of the lift. Poindexter is a very good player. He cannot make every tackle in the game, and that's what it starts to feel like.
It starts to feel that, after you got those two, then you get down. Lavelle is next, and then Musser, Stevens, Bumpus, Sosh, Pearson, Perriman, Byford. All those guys are in double-figure tackles after 3 games, and then it falls off. Some more. So you're right. It seems like 3 or 4 players are making 80% of the tackles.
Right. Yeah, and that's not what we want. I mean, there's positions. He plays middle linebacker. He's going to have the most opportunities. He should lead us in tackles, but not at the rate that he's doing it. It says a lot about him, but at the same time, it says that we're kind of struggling in areas.
Yeah.
But it was better last week. Much better, with more guys, more productive.
So when you played, you were a lineman?
No, I played Mike, linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, I played
middle linebacker. What year did you graduate?
17. Spring of 17, yes. So I was there, my freshman year was 13, and I think I always joke around, but I think I had 5 head coaches in 4 years. We had one guy just never showed up. So.
It's been a revolving door, hasn't it?
For sure.
And then you got, what was it, Coach Hogg that passed away?
Yeah, early 2000s.
Really seemed like he was doing a great job.
Yeah, he did a great job there. Yeah, the big history back, late 90s there, early 2000s. He had some good teams.
Has it been that long ago?
2002, I believe, is the year after he passed that they made it to the
Final Four.
Time gets away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Time gets away. So again, last week's game, getting on the win side, Coach, and I know that feels good. When you look around the district, of course, Mayfield took a little spanking last week by our friend Sean Thompson. He seems to be doing that every week to people.
Yeah.
Avery's taking part in a lot of this too.
Yeah.
Just congratulations to those guys. I mean, when you can take Mayfield to the woodshed like that, 55-29, and you're doing a day's work. But of course, Mayfield's 2-1 in district. Caldwell's come out 2-1 in the district so far, and then the rest of us, Todd, Trigg, Fort Campbell, and us are all 1-2 across the board like that. So just kind of looking at some of the games last week, y'all chime in. Fort Campbell beat Fort Knox 55-18. The two military schools, Knox traditionally not real good.
Yeah, I don't know much about them this year, but traditionally that's kind of.
So not real surprising on that. That was Fort Campbell's first win. Union County got Caldwell County, doubled their score, basically 46-22. Union County maybe coming around a little.
I think they were tied at half.
Yeah.
14 all.
I believe. Yeah. And then kind of got away.
And then Marshall County, they escaped Trigg County 28-27, and Trigg, I was listening to that on the way home after our game,
We were too,
and they missed a field goal, kind of a chip shot, about 20 yards, just at the last second.
I think that's back-to-back games they've lost by
one. Yeah, sure is. So tough loss for them, and it doesn't get any easier for them this week either.
Who they have?
This week they will have Trigg County. Hoptown is at Trigg County.
Gotcha.
Hoptown at Trigg County, and looking back on that, so last week, what did we get to? Mayfield, Todd Central lost 52-0 at Butler County, which that's a hard score to read. But Todd seems like they've come out pretty slow. So this week around the district, Joe Burns will be at Todd Central. Joe Burns is a team down around Clarksville, Cedar Hill area. It's Tennessee, so it's a small school down there. It's a relatively new school. Yeah, I think I hadn't heard about it until we were supposed to play them in softball a few years ago. But Hoptown will be at Trigg, Caldwell at Webster, Hop Central at Fort Campbell, and then McCracken and Mayfield. So that's what we got going on around in our district. Anything this early on? Of course, nobody's played a district game yet. Anything on these guys? You all read much about them, following them? I know you do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think that we have a tough district. I think they're showing that. Trigg obviously was lost to by 1 point against two pretty good teams, a big ball club in Marshall that we lost to, and then Hart County has just been on a roll. I know they lost a lot, but still being able to play them that tight says a lot. And Caldwell being 2-1, and then playing tight with Union County for a half, just letting it get away, says a lot about them too. I think they're both, very formidable opponents and teams that we got to be on the lookout for. Don't know much about Todd and Fort Campbell. They're kind of playing teams that I just don't know a whole lot about at this point, so it's kind of hard to get a read.
Yeah.
And we all know what Mayfield is, even though, Tillman may be, tough run for anybody. They seem to be getting better all the time.
They do. They've got them.
I wouldn't read too much into that as far as for Mayfield in 2A. I'd say
they'll
be right in the mix as they always are.
Tillman number 1 in their class. Mayfield's still ranked 3 in 2A. This week they got Beechwood number 1, Owensboro Catholic 2. And then the only other team in West Kentucky is Hancock County. They're over in the 2nd District. We can see them in the playoffs. They come in at 8th. Caldwell got some votes, but they were outside the top 10.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of looking at what's going on around the area. We're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to meet all of our juniors and visit with some of our sponsors. Take a look at them. We appreciate all of them. And we'll be right back, and we'll talk about the Union City game that's coming up this week.
This program is supported by advertising. Rocket Football appreciates these local partners: Mark Williams Land Team at Whitetail Properties, Riley Tool and Machine, Par 4 Plastics, Curnel Ag, Full Body Fitness Studio, Yarborough Tabor Goodwin Insurance, Farmers Bank and Trust, Hodges Sports and Apparel, Deer Lakes Golf Course, Livingston Hospital, Seaplant Federal Credit Union, Frazer Law Firm, Cobie Evans and Bart Frazer, Darrick Myers, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, First United Bank, Gilbert Funeral Home, and Beavers Heating and Air. Go Rockets!
Noah Byford Jr., wide receiver, cornerback, Marion, Kentucky.
Davis Behrman, Jr., wide receiver, safety, Marion, Kentucky.
Logan Nolan, Jr., invert slot receiver, Marion.
Jake Rich, Jr., OL, DL, Crane, Kentucky.
Aiden Musser, Jr., linebacker, lineman, and Marion, Kentucky.
All right, we're back, and nice to meet all of our juniors. We're going to try to do that as we did last year, every week, and get to know these guys. And Coach Courtney, speaking of getting to know some of your guys, you got to know some reserves the last few weeks with all these injuries. You know, you got to see what some kids that maybe don't get as many snaps in a game can do. But there's kind of some good news on the horizon, right? Quinn, our quarterback Quinn Summers, and then our leading returning receiver Caden Howard been out the last 2 games, and they're kind of going through some of the motions, right, this week practice.
Yeah, they were able to practice limitedly, I guess, the first couple of days of the week. So we'll see, how it goes. We're at least trending in the right direction, so that's good to see. It's definitely good to see them both out at practice. I think it changes the mood and everything of just everybody, it's hopeful that they'll be back soon. Well, I honestly, and if I didn't know, I wouldn't say, but I honestly have no idea if either one of them will be able to play this week. But we're definitely trending in the right direction. I believe we'll have them during district play, and hopefully some this week, but just don't know that yet. Just too early to say.
Mm-hmm. Of course, this team that comes in here, Union City, again, like we said, out of the chute, 1-2, just like we are. They're a traditional power in West Tennessee. They have 4 state championships. Mm-hmm. They play a tough schedule every year. They've been to state quarterfinals the last 3 seasons. So, a very solid, strong reputation football team. Do things right. The Golden Tornado, of course, Union City is just across the state line down around Martin, for those of you who don't know where it's in Obion County. And multiple high schools down in that area, and they're a 2A this year. But they've had some injuries, and I think one of their players transferred out to another one of the good schools down there, Milan, in their same district. So you guys talk about what you're seeing out of them on film this week. What do we expect out of those guys? What they run, and just take me through it.
Yeah. First off, the thing that stands out, they just play very hard, very disciplined, very clean football. That's what stands out to me. Just as soon as you watch it, you can tell they're well coached. You can tell they play really hard. They play, I would call it the gun tee offense. It's a lot of veer and option stuff, so make you play responsibility football, kind of, some misdirection and kind of, some, what am I looking for? Deception as far as who's got the handoff and things like that. Very similar to what Murray ran a couple years ago with their coach that came from Union City. So, I'm really impressed with what I see on film, and they obviously have some really good players too. Number 1 and number 2 really stand out for me offensively, which is a fullback and running back. Quarterback does a good job running the offense. Offensive line wise, if you're going to run that offense, you better be nasty up front, and I think that they are. They'll be down 3 or 4 point stance. They're cutting, they're chop blocking, they're getting, not illegally, crotch blocking. They're just doing all these old school kind of things, some things that we used to have back in the day at the wing tee, but really get after you up front. So, really good football team. We'll have to play really well to be able to stay in it.
Mm-hmm. Grant, you watch a lot of film?
Yeah.
Now, what exact positions do you coach during the week?
So I coach our outside linebackers, we call our inverteds, and then I help out with our running backs as well.
So you look at a lot of film. I'm sure you look at the overall picture, but you're studying that. You know, what as far as their linebackers, what are you seeing out of those guys? They look athletic.
They are. I think they're athletic across the board. So you know, when we're sitting there looking at this as well.
Yeah, we've got this is our scouting report.
Yeah.
I appreciate Kevin Weeks, the sports editor down Union City, sent that up to me a couple of weeks ago. His preview of the season, so we did get to take a look at it.
I think they're loaded with guys across the board. Good looking bunch, really. There was a corner that we have all bragged on, and even Coach Berry said that he was really impressive. So, just really well-rounded team, you know. And as far as up front wise, offensive line, like Coach Courtney was talking about, probably up to this point, it's probably the best O-line we've faced or going to be facing up to this point, you know. So it'll be interesting. We got to stay disciplined.
Coming into this game, of course, we've got 3 games under our belt, and we've been able to put up 700, I think, and 11 yards total offense through 3 games. Very, very unlike us. Of course, we've been very shorthanded.
Right.
So at this point, coming into this game, it obviously depends on your personnel.
Right.
But it seems like we've kind of gone away from the single wing that we experimented with, not having a tried and true quarterback. And now Connor Poindexter got his first start last week, and you know had the typical first start things happen to him, but still turned in a very respectable. And he's got that one; it's behind him.
Right. Correct.
So we look at it coming into this game kind of traditional or just a mix.
Yeah, mixed at this point. Just want to have both things. We thought we had some things in the spread that we could really take advantage of last week, so we were kind of, you know, we wanted to try out the single wing, didn't have early success in it, and thought that we might as well just get out of it and try to take advantage of those. But it'll be a weekly thing. The single wing's not going to go away all year long because we could get in that situation at any time. You know, if Quinn goes down and, you know, just a few injuries happen, you know, we're dependent on throwing the ball all around the yard, and now we can't throw it anymore. We got to have an answer if we get in that situation, no matter how healthy we are or how good we're throwing the ball. Just takes one bad thing to happen for us to be in a different situation. So we just got to stay prepared for it, and we'll keep the single wing all year.
Yeah, I don't care what size school you are, what class you play in. When you take your quarterback out and your best receiver, arguably the 2 best skilled players on the team, numbers wise, certainly, and leadership wise as well.
Yeah.
And when you take them off a team, our side, and I don't care what size of school you are, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it definitely changes things.
Yeah.
makes a huge difference.
Right.
So if we can get one of them back,
Yeah.
you know, of course, you know, is there a chance that these guys can come in and play limit? I mean, you don't want to put a kid in when he's not 100%, though. I mean, so what do you do? How do you evaluate that at this point?
Yeah, throughout the week, we're evaluating them right now and just talking to them constantly, how you feeling, this and that, because we don't want to rush them back. Well, I would love to have them both this week, but if this isn't the state championship game where you need to get out there no matter what and just fight through it. I mean, we got a long season ahead of us, no district play. I want them guys healthy when it matters. You know, in district play and late down the stretch. So we don't want to rush anything, that's for sure. And I've kind of, especially told Caden that with his hamstring, because that's a real, you know, injury that could just, you know, erupt on you in any moment and take you out for a long time. You gotta be, and we're learning more about Quinn stuff. Kind of, we certainly never want to put any player at risk of hurting himself more. But you know, there's some injuries that you can, you know, it's just a matter of are you limited, you know, in what you can do, and it's going to be painful, but maybe not going to hurt things worse. So just trying to figure all those things out and just talk to them and see how they feel, and just tell them to be honest with us. I know they both want to play, but you know, we got a long season ahead of us. So.
And really the so-called second season, I guess you might say, will start a week from Friday.
Right.
We'll have Mayfield right off the bat. Might as well play the big one first.
Yeah, I guess so. That's how it worked out.
And then of course we have a 5-team schedule, 16 district, 5-team district schedule. So it's going to take up near the rest of the regular season, other than what Hop Central, I think, late last game of the year. But yeah, so we're going to get ready to this is the last week. If you're going to heal somebody up, before you get into those district games. So just kind of to close things out, Coach Carter, one of the things that I always like to ask new folks when they come into to Rocket football, what's surprised you about it? What did you think when you got here? Yep, that's about how I expected it. Or what do you think?
I think how much the entire community and county actually just loves Rocket football.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really, that surprised me more than anything. And I just love the atmosphere too. Even playing over here, and I obviously coached against Crittenden a lot too in the past. And I tell Coach Courtney this is one of the hardest places to play because the fans are just sitting right on top of you. Mm-hmm. And you see them all around, even on the visitor side. So it's I just love the atmosphere of it, and I mean the kids and everything are great. It's awesome, really.
Mm-hmm. And over on the visitor side, the ones that are up on Quarterback Hill over there, there's no fence between them and this coach. By design. Very intimidating place to be over there, I'm sure. And then for the home team to have that crowd right on top of it.
Oh, it's awesome, really. You can feel the people on top of it, especially, like last week we got a good on kickoff, where he covered that fumble and stuff. Like, people getting excited, and it gets our guys excited too. And I think we just started rolling a little bit better after that too. So
Coach Courtney, so this week, what's it going to take? I mean, what do we have to do? Number one, other than getting these guys back, right, injury-wise, that's priority number one. But other than that, what do we have to do? Take care of the football. We still have a little trouble.
We still haven't been +2 in the turnover margin, even though we were able to get several last week. Yeah, I think the first thing you got to come out though is play hard versus these guys. Be ready to meet their intensity. They do play with a little bit of different speed and style than anyone we've played against. And that's the first thing you have to do. The second thing you have to do is, especially defensively, is to be in the right position and just do your job. Anytime you're playing an option offense, especially when they have the type of weapons these guys have, you get out of position against these guys, it's going to be a touchdown every time. So when things start going bad in one area, you can't try to make up for it. You got to just continue to believe in what we're doing and stay in the right position. And then the third thing is exactly what you said: take care of the football. Those are the top 3 things that I had on my list this week. And create some turnovers. I think that Union City's kind of been in the same situation that we are as far as being in games and then turning the ball over and then getting them into a lot of trouble. They've had a little trouble, kind of like we have with exchanges and snaps and whatever it is. They've turned the ball over quite a bit. It's kind of not necessarily they've been stopped. They've kind of stopped themselves. So we need to be on the right side of that. Hopefully they continue to have whatever struggles they're having this week, if they can get it fixed after this week, and we get ours fixed this week. So
very uncharacteristic for us to have that many put the ball on the ground like we're doing. Not yet.
Extremely bad spots too. I know one last week. One was on our own 5-yard line against Marshall. I think we coughed one up right in that same area.
Of course, too, we're handing the ball the last couple of games anyway. Handing the ball off a lot more than we're accustomed to. It's either a caught pass or a drop pass, and not many. We haven't given up many interceptions over the last few years, but no, we're doing a pretty good job on the interception front this year defensively. Mm-hmm. It seems like. I mean, I off the top of my head, we've got I don't know, 4, 5, 6, maybe 4. I don't know. It seems like it was.
And a big one right out the gate last week.
Yeah, made a difference. So, is there a team that we've seen in the past that you would compare? You need to kind of give our fans.
It feels just how many years ago has that been now? I don't know if it'd be 2 or 3 years ago, but when Coach Rowan was at Murray, it feels just like them. They're probably not as big up front as that Murray team was, but the couple years that he was there and they were running the beer, it feels just like them. The type of kids that they have and just the way they go about it. I'd say I don't know anything about this coaching staff, but there's definitely a print from him to him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he was under him or if he's just from there and that's what he's known, but very similar. You can tell, like, these two teams, I mean, they look almost identical in the things that they're doing.
Yeah. So 7 o'clock kickoff Friday night. Is there a special?
Young Rocket Night.
Young Rocket Night.
Yeah,
so
it's always a big one.
Wear your uniform.
Yeah.
From flag football all the way up to middle school.
Correct.
Wear your jersey. Get in free.
Yep.
I think a lot of them are getting in free now anyway.
The
because
high
it's-
school students.
Yeah,
So it's the young ones in.
So this gets all the young ones in. Come early, stay late. Join the crowd on the field after we get done and celebrate again on our home turf this week.
It's welcome.
absolutely.
Welcome
Yeah.
home from Tennessee. Let's have
Yeah.
a big crowd there and kind of show them.
Show them what Kentucky football's like, because people in Tennessee don't think much of football in
Okay.
Kentucky generally.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to put on our best shoes.
Yeah. We do.
Yeah. Appreciate Grant Carter coming in. Congratulations
Thank
to
you,
you
sir.
and the missus with one on the way.
Thank you.
And we will see you on Friday night. And again, come early, a big crowd. This is a team that we don't get to see. So come out and watch the Rockets host Union City's Golden Tornado.
This program is supported by advertising. Rocket Football appreciates these local partners: Mark Williams Land Team at Whitetail Properties, Riley Tool and Machine, Par 4 Plastics, Curnel Ag, Full Body Fitness Studio, Yarborough Tabor Goodwin Insurance, Farmers Bank and Trust, Hodges Sports and Apparel, Deer Lakes Golf Course, Livingston Hospital, Seaplant Federal Credit Union, Frazer Law Firm, Cobie Evans and Bart Frazer, Darrick Myers, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, First United Bank, Gilbert Funeral Home, and Beavers Heating and Air. Go Rockets!